Hello crafty friends, my name's Alicia, but you can call me Crafty Al. And in today's video, I'm going to be making a special birthday card that has a little bit of magic thanks to Pear Blossom Press. I hope you'll stick around to see how I create it and find out how you can get a free printable to help you make your own. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope that by the end of this video, you'll be inspired to click on that subscribe button below and ring the bell for notifications. If you're already a subscriber and regular viewer, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here again. Amanda with Pear Blossom Press reached out to me to see if I would like to give her new candlelight lights a try. And when I saw them in action, I was like, yes, please. I know that you guys are going to be amazed because when I tell you it's like these things are magic, I mean it. For my card today, I wanted to go with a birthday theme, and I didn't have anything in my stash that was exactly what I wanted. So I ended up making a printable and cut file to help me along. Now at the end of the video, I'll tell you how you can get it for yourself if you'd like to give this a try also. The Pear Blossom Press products that I'll be using today is the new Candlelight 2-pack, which it comes with 2 of the lights and 2 batteries, and also to help my recipient kind of know what to do because it is interactive, I'm using the Pear Blossom Press stamp and die set. It has some different interactive stamps, this cute little handmade by stamp, and there are also some coordinating dies, and I will be using one of the little candlelight dies for my card. As I get into the process, I will tell you about other products and tools I use, but as always, if I ever leave you with any questions, feel free to leave those in that comment section below, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Let's get crafty! The free printable for this card has 2 card fronts on a sheet with crop marks and dimensions. I did go ahead and cut them both out, but today I'll just be using the one. For the SVGs to cut out the letters, I just did the W, S, and H. I did include a candle in your version of it, but for me, I use this die set from Tailored Expressions, and I die cut the 2 layers for the candle, and for the flame, I cut those out of white also, but I colored them in with an orange and yellow Olo marker. To add some interest and color to my card front, I will be using the Sprinkles layering stencil from Tailored Expressions, and I chose 4 inks, 1 for each turn of the stencil. Once I have my card front and stencil temporarily tacked in place, I'm going to start with the Guava or the pink ink on the stencil. I use clockwise and counterclockwise motions until each of those little confetti openings is filled in. Now between each of the colors, it is important to go ahead and clean this off since we're using the same stencil. And when I bring that back in, I'm going to rotate it 1 turn, and that way my confetti ends up in just a slightly different place. Now I am confettiing or I am stenciling the entire card front, but if you wanted to put some type of mask around the letters, you could definitely do that too, just so you don't have confetti all over the place, but I think later you'll see my letters stand out pretty well from the background. Before I put the inks away, I want to add some color to my die cuts. Now I definitely could have cut these pieces out of colored cardstock, but it was so much quicker to just cut them all out of white, and now I'm going to use these little sponge daubers and color each piece in a different color. For the candle, I am adding orange to the top or the decorative layer only, and then that white base will show through those openings. I finished off with the S in a green ink and the H in a blue ink. Next, I assembled the candle, so I brought in the flames and the base, and I used liquid glue on these so I would have a little bit of wiggle time to get everything adjusted well, especially those 2 candle layers. Once those were together, I added the flame to the top. To help with placement of the die cut letters, I do have a very light outline on the printable. This way, after I get that liquid glue on the back of each letter, I have a little bit of wiggle time to adjust that just right. And that's just to help keep it straight and centered on that card front. While I am placing everything flat down, you could definitely pop these up with foam tape or cut multiple layers of the letters, or I even thought another idea would be to use another white copy and offset it just slightly so there was a bit of a shadow. Now it's time to add the magic to the card with the Pear Blossom Press Candlelight. This is my first time using it, so I tested it to make sure everything worked okay. And you guys, I blew on it, the light went out, and I just thought it was magic. I was in love. Let me know if you think that's pretty cool too down in that comment section below. Now, I am not an expert in any way at these lights. I watched a couple videos over on the Pear Blossom Press channel and then gave this a try. What you have to do is kind of figure out where the light's going to go, where the button's going to go, and then put everything together. Now, because this is a special light, you do need an opening behind where the light's going to be so that when you blow, the sensor on the candlelight feels that air. So that's why on this card I cut a little teardrop or a little candle flame shaped opening. Although my card's been pretty flat so far, I did want to pop up the candle, so I put a skinny strip of foam tape on the back, but I made sure not to put it up where the flame is. Again, we need that opening behind there for the airflow. Now, before I go to put this on the card, I added some liquid glue just so I had some time to make adjustments before the candle was stuck in place. The next step was to figure out where I could stamp the word push so the recipient would know this card was interactive. I played around a little bit with the candlelight on the back of the card front, making sure that when I pushed the button, it wasn't in any text I already had or in any of those die-cut letters. So I figured out that area and kept it in my mind and brought in my mini MISTI. Then, using that Pear Blossom Press stamp set, I took that little push and placed it between the confetti where it would hit the button. Now, you don't have to have perfect placement on this. It can be a little bit to the left, right, above, or below that button. It will still work. I inked that up with some black ink and got it stamped, and now we're ready to add that candle light. Before I adhere everything in place permanently, I did want to do a little test with the candlelight and my opening behind the candle flame, so I temporarily put that in place with some painter's tape, and good news, it worked. To put the card front onto the card base, you do need some foam tape that is a little bit thicker. Normally the foam tape I use is 1/16 of an inch thick, but I do have this roll from Tailored Expressions that is 1/8 inch, which is perfect for the Pear Blossom light. Now, if you don't have 1/8 inch thick foam tape, you could always double up what you do have. While I was off camera filling up the back of that with foam tape, I also got my card base ready, which I used candy corn or an orange, and for the personal message on the inside, I added a piece of white paper and I cleaned off my blending brushes on the bottom. This is a great way to clean off that extra ink and add a little extra color. On the back, I decided to go ahead and use that cute little light bulb stamp from Pear Blossom Press and sign my name. Now it's time to get the card put together, so I pulled the release paper on the back of the tape, and before I put it down on the card front, I'm going to use some liquid glue so that I have a little bit of wiggle time or a little barrier between the foam tape and the card base to get this aligned just right. Now, if you're shopping for your candle lights or your other Pear Blossom Press lights, make sure to pick up some of their foam tape. Not only is it the correct thickness, but it's also repositionable for 30 minutes and permanent after 24 hours. Talk about some wiggle time. To finish this card off, I added some shine with Tailored Expressions drip drops, and I did one final test of the light. Don't you agree that the Pear Blossom candlelight lights added a little bit of magic to this birthday card? If you do, as always, a thumbs up is appreciated. Now let me tell you how you can get a hold of those free files to help you make your own. If you would like access to my free PDF and SVG files to help you make your own magical birthday card, In the description box below, toward the top, is a link to a form to fill out. It will sign you up for my email newsletter, and even if you're already on it, you need to go ahead and fill out the form. You'll get an email to confirm your addition, and then the files will automatically be sent to you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My email address is always at the bottom of the description box. Until my next video, I hope you're all having a crafty day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch all the way to the end of the video. I hope now you'll consider clicking on one of the videos or playlists I have linked above. And if you are interested in any of the products or tools I used in today's video, I do have some links in the description box below.